Hello, basketball people, we have news. Let's go to more news about the Golden State Warriors. I ask you to give a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, as I am a Warriors fan. A business proposal has emerged that could help the Warriors' defensive system, which is to make a trade and bring Kentavious Caldwell-Pope from the Memphis Grizzlies. The Golden State Warriors are entering a pivotal stretch in their franchise timeline. With Stephen Curry still playing at an elite level but now 37 years old, the front office is walking a tightrope between keeping their championship window alive and developing their next generation of stars. One player at the center of this balancing act is Jonathan Kuminga, the 21-year-old forward whose athleticism and upside have intrigued fans but whose role within Steve Kerr's system has remained inconsistent. A new trade idea could finally bring clarity for both sides, while addressing needs for two Western Conference teams looking to take the next step. Golden State Warriors receive Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, G.G. Jackson. Memphis Grizzlies receive Jonathan Kuminga. The proposed deal would see the Warriors acquire veteran guard Kentavious Caldwell-Pope and promising forward G.G. Jackson from the Memphis Grizzlies, in exchange for Kuminga via a sign-and-trade agreement worth $100 million over 4 years. The transaction would balance both rosters, provided it is completed after August 15, 2025. Due to Caldwell-Pope's trade restriction following his recent move from Orlando. The Warriors get two valuable pieces. From Golden State's perspective, this move is about maximizing the Curry era while adding both immediate help and long-term potential. Caldwell-Pope, 31, remains one of the league's most respected 3-and-D specialists, despite a slight statistical dip last season. He averaged 8.7 points, 2.2 rebounds, 1.8 assists, and 1.3 steals while shooting 43.9% from the field and 34.2% from three. His efficiency from deep may have regressed, but his defensive versatility and championship experience, having won titles with both the Lakers in 2020 and the Nuggets in 2023, make him exactly the kind of role player Golden State thrives with. On a team featuring Curry, Jimmy Butler, and Draymond Green, Pope could provide a stabilizing two-way presence in the backcourt, capable of defending multiple positions while spacing the floor. The addition of G.G. Jackson adds an intriguing developmental piece to the Warriors' rotation. The 19-year-old had an encouraging rookie campaign in 2023-24 but was limited to just 29 games last season due to injury. He still averaged 7.2 points, 3.2 rebounds, and 1.0 assists on 37.2% shooting from the field and 33.7% from deep. His length, mobility, and raw scoring instincts fit the kind of long-term talent Golden State needs as they prepare for life after their core veterans. Jackson remains on his rookie deal, earning just $2.2 million this year and $2.4 million next season, giving the Warriors a cost-controlled asset as the luxury tax looms. The Grizzlies get a potential all-star. For Memphis, this trade would be about making a calculated bet on Kuminga's star potential. The 2021 7th overall pick averaged 15.3 points, 4.6 rebounds, and 2.2 assists on 45.4% shooting last season, despite fluctuating minutes and reported tension with the Warriors' coaching staff. His combination of explosive athleticism, defensive versatility, and improved mid-range scoring could fit perfectly alongside Ja Morant, Desmond Bane, and Jaren Jackson Jr., giving the Grizzlies another dynamic forward who can thrive in transition and pressure defenses in the half-court. While Kuminga has shown flashes of being a two-way star, his relationship with Golden State has been rocky. Reports have suggested he declined a recent contract extension offer and expressed dissatisfaction with his role. Trade rumors have linked him to the Sacramento Kings and Phoenix Suns, but the Warriors have so far resisted pulling the trigger without a return they deem worthy. Memphis, however, could be an ideal landing spot, offering him the chance to expand his game on a younger roster while still competing in the West. A sign-and-trade deal can help out both teams. The financial logistics are workable due to the sign-and-trade format. Kuminga's new $25 million annual salary, averaging $100 million over 4 years, would match well with Memphis' outgoing package of Caldwell-Pope's $21.6 million and Jackson's rookie-scale deal. The only holdup is the August 15th restriction on Caldwell Pope, which prevents him from being aggregated in a multiplayer trade until 2 months after his last transaction. If finalized, the Warriors would walk away with a proven championship role player and a young forward who can grow into a bigger role. The Grizzlies would land a high-upside forward ready to contribute now and potentially blossom into an all-star alongside their young core. For Golden State, it's a move that keeps them competitive in the short term without completely sacrificing the future. For Memphis, it's a swing for upside that could pay off for years. And for Kuminga, it might finally mean a stable role on a team ready to unleash his full potential. If the Warriors believe their title window is still open, this could be the kind of smart, balanced deal that gives Curry and company one last real shot, while also planting seeds for what comes next. We're probably not going to be the favorite. Golden State Warriors Stephen Curry gets 100% honest on the team's title hopes. Stephen Curry remains motivated to win another NBA championship for the Golden State Warriors, which would be his fifth, even if they're not considered the favorites to win it all this upcoming season. Last season, the Golden State Warriors finished as the 7th seed in the Western Conference with a 48-34 regular season record before losing to the Minnesota Timberwolves in the second round. It is also worth noting that they have yet to make any notable moves this offseason to bolster their squad. I truly believe we can be championship relevant in the sense of we're probably not going to be the favorite in any conversation, but we have a team that's capable of achieving that level again, knowing all that we've been through over the last 13 years and those 4 trophies over there, Curry said on SiriusXM NBA radio. So to add to that would be amazing, and I think it's realistic to build towards that. I think for me that's literally the only thing I'm playing for at this point, he concluded. Golden State Warriors have reached out to Chicago Bulls RFA, per Insider. As the Jonathan Kuminga saga drags on, the Golden State Warriors continue to find ways to improve their roster. According to Jake Fisher of the Insider Notebook, the team is monitoring Chicago Bulls guard Josh Giddey. I can report that there have been multiple teams that have reached out to Josh Giddey's representation about having interest in him, Fisher said. Golden State is one of them. Golden State would be interested, depending on how the machinations would go, in some kind of Josh Giddey-Jonathan Kuminga sign-and trade, to my understanding, he added. NBA Insider gives timetable for Jonathan Kuminga, Warriors resolution. The Golden State Warriors have been put in an undesirable situation with restricted free agent Jonathan Kuminga, and with no resolution in sight, things are getting tricky. Kuminga, 22, is coming off a polarizing season with the Warriors. The 6'8" forward, like he has done throughout his 4-year NBA career, showed plenty of promise and potential, but the lows stood out too much. Warriors head coach Steve Kerr ultimately benched Kuminga entirely heading into the playoffs, but the young forward went on to prove him wrong when given the opportunity. In 4 games after Steph Curry went down with an injury in the second round, Kuminga averaged a team-high 24.3 points per game while shooting 55.4% from the field and 38.9% from beyond the arc. Where do the Warriors stand with Kuminga? The Warriors have been looking for sign-and-trade solutions to find Kuminga a new team heading into the 2025-26 season, but the new expectation is that he will be staying in Golden State for the near future. The Warriors have reportedly shut down sign-and-trade talks in an attempt to gain leverage over the free agent forward. However, now the two sides have to figure out his next contract. There are a couple of options for Kuminga right now, as he could either agree to the Warriors' current offer of 2 years for $45 million with a team option, or sign the qualifying offer. But Golden State, sources say, is not open to amending its stance on the second year of the 2-year, $45 million offer it has extended to the 22-year-old swingman. The Warriors are insistent that year 2 is a team option. Kuminga would naturally prefer a player option, NBA insider Jake Fisher wrote on the Stein line. A resolution is in sight, sort of. The clock is ticking for Kuminga and the Warriors, and while there is still plenty of time, there is a deadline for the two sides to find a resolution, as Fisher detailed when an agreement is expected to happen. The sides thus remain locked into a staring contest that some well-placed observers believe could drag into September at this rate, Fisher continued. Kuminga has until October 1st to accept his $8 million qualifying offer for the 2025-26 season and bet on himself to capitalize once he becomes an unrestricted free agent next summer. Kuminga and the Warriors are not necessarily close to an agreement, but there is a timetable for when the two sides should find a resolution. Will Moses Moody get more minutes on the court or will he be traded? The youngster must play. As the Golden State Warriors have trudged through the offseason, their main priority has been finding a resolution to their ongoing Jonathan Kuminga saga, either through a sign-and trade or a contractual agreement. Yet, their unwillingness to include Moses Moody in any trade has hindered their ability to match salaries for larger assets, and, because of this hesitancy, the team must justify their course of action by granting significant minutes to the young wing next season. Although there have been no confirmed trade proposals to include Moody, his salary would be hugely valuable in any potential Kuminga sign-and trade as a result of base year compensation rules, and the team's unwillingness to include him must signify a growing confidence in the young sharpshooter. Moses Moody must get significant minutes next season. A member of the same draft class as Kuminga, Moody took a massive leap forward in his fourth year with Golden State. Following the team's blockbuster acquisition of Jimmy Butler, the outgoing package for which included fan favorite Andrew Wiggins, Moody took on a larger role with the team, largely excelling in the regular season. Through the 31 games following the trade, Moody started 29 of them, averaging 10.8 points, 3.1 rebounds, and 1.5 assists and shooting 34.4% from three-point range. While these numbers may not seem difference-making, Moody exhibited a valuable 3-and-D skill set through large swathes of these games, shoring up the team's defensive front and going on multiple hot shooting stretches. Yet, in the playoffs, Moody played through a hand injury that threw his shot off entirely, and the young wing shot only 33.3% from beyond the arc in the team's 12 playoff games. While this was undoubtedly a result of his injury, this complete lack of performance left room for doubt regarding his viability as a long-term starter for the Warriors. Now, however, the team has expressed its unwillingness to trade either Moody or Hield this offseason. At the very least, this decision could make the rumored Kuminga for Josh Giddey swap nigh impossible as a result of the resultant salary complications. On a broader scale, however, this hesitancy could make almost any move through the trade market difficult given the fact that Moody is among the team's most tradable assets for the foreseeable future on his relatively undervalued contract. Yet, if Golden State ultimately signs veteran center Al Horford, as has been much rumored this offseason, Moody will likely have to compete for minutes in the backcourt given the fact that Butler will be moved to the 3 spot within the starting lineup. Despite his larger role, Moody averaged only 16.1 minutes over the course of last season, and Golden State must grant him a much larger role, somewhere in the 20 to 25 minutes a night range, in order to justify their faith in him. One can only hope that Moody's shooting takes the necessary steps forward in order to make such a bold decision worth it. Warriors unmotivated to trade Jonathan Kuminga to Kings for key reason. The Golden State Warriors offseason has been trapped in what is essentially purgatory, as the team strives to suss out an arrangement with restricted free agent power forward Jonathan Kuminga. The 22-year-old, selected just ahead of Franz Wagner in the 2021 NBA Draft Lottery, can jump out of the gym with his appetizing athleticism. But he has yet to develop a reliable three-point shot in his arsenal, and thrives the most with the ball in his hands. On a team with ball-dominant future Hall of Famers Stephen Curry, Jimmy Butler, and Draymond Green, Kuminga has been a curious fit. Golden State head coach Steve Kerr seems to prefer more off-ball cutters who can spread the floor, rather than an athletic ball hog who specializes with a drive-heavy shot diet. So perhaps a sign-and trade might make the most sense. Kuminga is clearly talented, even if his all-star upside feels a bit fleeting, but he might be better served with a more consistent role on a team that has a more wide-open window. The Sacramento Kings and Phoenix Suns have been reported as the two most interested clubs in acquiring Kuminga's services through this route. That said, the Warriors are holding back on flipping the 6'8" pro to the Sacramento Kings for a critical reason, as Brett Siegel of Clutch Points relays. Siegel notes that Kuminga has been hoping to land in a new situation via a sign-and-trade deal. Golden State has reportedly paused all possible sign-and-trade deals. The Athletic's Sam Amick reports that the Kings were offering a protected 2030 first-round draft pick and perennial sixth-man guard Malik Monk. A deal of Monk for Kuminga would put the Warriors over the first luxury tax apron, but Siegel notes that Buddy Hield or Moses Moody would need to be offloaded by Golden State to duck the tax. The Warriors are looking to hold on to both players.